Hello, everyone. I like that. Right on the first round. Marvelous. David, who's our victim today? What I'd like to do is we'll welcome everyone. If you all please stand. Invocation our pledge.
Thank you. Hey, how are you? Good afternoon. As we gather here today as members of Rotary, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, this time, are there any adjustments to the minutes Pat did from last meeting? If not, we'll move on. Birthdays, I didn't have any birthdays this week. We did have one anniversary for 8 years for Deborah Collins. And at this point, Sergeant at Arms, are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir, I am. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Dunedin for our midday meeting here on Tuesday. We begin with introduction of guests, and then we will introduce our speaker later when they come on. We do have a guest today from Champaign, Urbana, Illinois. Stand up and say hello. Give us 2 sentences.
2 sentences. Been visiting Dunedin for after 3 years. I'm finally coming to see the road. I belong to a breakfast for a meeting, and it's really nice to be here. People are really
All right. I believe that takes care of our guests. So we'll move to Happy Bucks, where if you have $1 or so that you'd like to tell us something special about your week. Okay.
Thank you. Well, one of the dollars is for the honor flight that I'm going to go to. This will be my first one. I'm not going, but I'm going to see them come in and be a part of it. And I'm very excited about that tonight. And then the other thing is the, remember a couple of years ago or so, excuse me, we had an opportunity to work with the Women's Federation Club in Pinellas County and put up a little library at MLK Community Center where Chris and speakers wife. I've been working with her. And then during COVID, they took it down for 2 years. And now the kids have created it, and it's amazing. We have our plate or a little plaque on it, and so the Women's Club, I picked those up yesterday, put them on, and now I'm going to get some pictures for Gina to put on the website to show the world that we're involved with the library and MLK Community Center.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think you might find it interesting to know that Dunedin was the second community in the United States that had little libraries. Yes, their librarian went off to a conference and somebody spoke about it, and boom, we'll have them in Dunedin too. So, Happy Bucks, back to Scott here. Well, we're always happy to have you here, and we're happy to take your $1. Okay, other Happy Bucks, Pastor Dave.
I'm happy to be here. I will not see the next 2 meetings. I will be in Kenya with straw and bread, so I will miss you all on the way. I do want to offer tremendous thanks to the club, whether you are aware of it or not. Through the international community, you are supporting helping support the expense of my trip, as well as supporting some of the work with Straw and Bread. So tremendous thanks to all of you.
Right on.
You all are very good. Thanks.
Now, immediately,
Just add one thing to that.
it'll cost you $1.
I went to Dick's yesterday, and she said that she had to set up a Rotary Club meeting with another Rotarian club. The Falcons are serving in the young men's tournament, and he will be your expert, because it is kind of dangerous to go, so be careful. Absolutely. And then come back with lots and lots of.
Oh, my goodness.
be very careful because this kind of a trip could lend itself to a program. For pictures and good things.
Oh, absolutely.
And particularly if you get arrested. Well, that add to the spirit of the presentation. Here's a picture of me in jail. Here's a picture of my new best friend. Okay. Look at that.
I have to make up for lost time. Yeah.
Terry.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm a guest here. But I'm really happy to be back. I gave $5, and it's for many things. It's for one, that I'm happy to be here. Stu, Vinny, and I are celebrating our 5th anniversary. My current husband, yes. And also, I want to thank all of those who have signed up to volunteer. Those who have not, is there anyone that hasn't signed up that needs to sign up? Chad, are you going to be here for May 22nd?
Good question.
Okay. So we really, this year is a little challenging. It's the end of the school year. The kids aren't able to do a lot of the work. So if anyone knows of a non-for-profit that would like to volunteer, possibly we can give back to them with kids, hopefully, we would love to have that. So, and if you know if anyone wants to volunteer, let me know.
Okay. And happy fun.
I got two. One is for last week. I forgot to.
Yes, I'll be.
One's for Terry being here because I haven't seen it for a long
you're so
time.
cute.
And I know I'll see you at the triathlon, bright and early.
Yes.
And then for the Ukraine, I forgot to mention this Ukraine benefit that we put on. And luckily, I was performing, so I got to perform. But even if I didn't, we were all donating our time. They raised over $14,000 that Scottish American Society put on. And it was fantastic while the weather held up. Don't tell us a great day. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Others with a happy buck today? Okay. Matt has a happy buck. Here we go.
I'm going to follow up Terry's announcement on volunteers. I volunteered to do the food. So one person does not make a committee. I need more people to help. So if you want to help with food, see me before you leave. And I'll put you on the list. By the way, I saw that list that like said, I have 7 names on it. So that means a lot of people in this room are not on that list. So there you go. All right, and Terry's name is on that list now, right, Terry?
For what?
For the tribe, because you're in charge of volunteers.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of dollars here from Tom, president, okay?
First dollar, Lucky Lobster, getting me in on a Saturday night. Wow, thank you. I'm calling 2 hours before thinking that there'll be a seat in the kitchen. You got to be a great table. Thank you, John. I always love Lucky Lobster. Second dollar is for all our volunteers that are going to be at the tribe.
Thank you. Pressure.
Another one, yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I have, mine's going to be grandchildren. My granddaughter just graduated last Friday from Piedmont University with a 4.0.
So she's heading to Palmer, over in Daytona, and so, she'll be a chiropractor, everyone knows the family, so. The other thing is my grandson has just decided he's graduating, and, my Jude, who you heard about, and he's graduating, and he's going to go to USTA. And study, political science, and want to do pre-law, and then become a prosecuting attorney, so that's his, and he's been with the career. So, next one is, I'm not happy that Billy got going to Iowa on Monday. I am happy that I'm going to be able to see my grandchildren and see my granddaughter, Meredith, graduate from high school. She's also an achiever. She just last week received the Iowa Governor's Scholar Program. They give one to a student in each school in Iowa. And they have to have, of course, GPA, over 3 GPA over years. She is going to be valedictorian in her class.
Right.
Wow. And totally excited about that for her, so I'm excited to see her. She's a great young lady, involved in a lot of things in community service as well as sports. She is very close. The unit that's next to her to Remedy driven to graduate is going to be Rotary and have 2 A- all 4 years. My granddaughter had 1.
Oh.
Just close. So thank you very much.
Oh, right, that would have been my high school class. Okay, well, thank you so much. And I contributed a happy dollar because I went to a barber for the first time in 2 years, and it was an interesting experience, so I got a fresh haircut for the first time. I'm not doing it myself anymore. I went to a barber. And lo and behold, I did it myself for a couple of years, and it kind of worked. And because I didn't want people that close to me, and so I finally went to a barber. And the funny thing was, he kept throwing his gray hair over my shoulder, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "What's this about?" And he said, "Oh, we've heard about you, and we're all supposed to do this for you now." So I guess that's it. So we have that. Plus, we have a trip to the archives because a past president of ours was a true queen. Oh my God! Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
And so we haven't seen you in a long time, so we have to take care of business on that score. So now we'd like to do our raffle, and I'll ask. Let's see, you doing here? Yes, Tom.
So embarrassing when I win.
Whatever, yeah. Okay, read it out.
All right, first number is a 6. Everybody still in?
Yes.
All right, hey, we're going to do this a little different because I'm a facilitator kind of guy. Here's how we're going to do it. Please, everybody, stand up. You got to take it. Please stand up. Please stand. Yeah. Everybody stand that has a ticket. If you don't have a ticket, we're going to talk to you next week. Okay, Tom, I see you got tickets in your hand. Please stand. Yes, everybody, okay, very good. Martha, and by the way, you know that everybody can't stand. Chad, you don't have to. I had it. You had it? Oh, you gave it to your mom? Oh. Okay. Stay standing if your next number is a 5. Okay, good. If your next number is a 0, keep standing. So we're at 650. If your next number is a 2, stay standing. If your next number is a 7, stay standing.
We all have the same thing.
Yeah.
I think he might wait to the last number.
If your next number is a 5, you can keep standing. It's not, sit down. All right, look at this. Drum beats, roll. If your next number is a 6, you win. Oh, golly. You won.
$10.
We gotta give that to the chat.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we'll double what you get.
Thank you very much. Okay, everybody back, please. Reverend David, I'd like to say I have known people that have been extremely creative trying to get out and volunteer for this triathlon. But going to Kenya, that's over the top.
Larry, I can't hear you.
Can everyone please stop talking? Thank you. All right, at this point, we have the officers they want to introduce for your consideration and membership vote. I sent the list out this morning. I don't know if you had an opportunity to review it yet, but I'll read it off to you. These are your officers that are proposed for 2020, 2022, 2023. David Kelly, the president. Dina Hurst, president-elect. David Sheeler, president-elect designate. Sergeant of Arms be selected by the board at the first meeting. Treasurer will be shared between Tom and Pat at this time. Thank you very much for both of you stepping up. Secretary, Dana, maybe a past president, that Larry Franklin character. As for your office, for your directors, be Sally Parks. I have Tom Dugard, Chad Fisher, Kim McRae, Linda, David Sheila, David Bramley, thank you for stepping up. We have a new member, and Ken Rico. At this time, are any questions, concerns about the board for next year?
Move they be accepted by acclamation.
Pardon me?
Move they be accepted by acclamation.
Second. People all vote? Say aye.
Aye. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Go get your hands in the air.
Everyone hands. Let's see Paul's. Let's go. All right. It passes. Everyone raise their hand. Thank you very much. At this point, I'd like to move on to the program. I'd like to introduce you all to Chris with the City of Dunedin, is overseeing youth sports. I ran into him a while ago, as y'all may remember or may not remember, I used to be heavily involved in youth sports in Dunedin, between Dunedin Little League, the Junior Falcons, and Dunedin Youth Soccer. And then I heard Chris speak at DCO about 2, maybe 3 years ago, I believe, just before the pandemic hit. And I was shocked at the information that he provided with youth sports in our city. So at this time, I'll turn the floor over to Chris.
Real short. Thank you very much for having me. As I said, my name is Chris Hoban. I work for the City of Dunedin Parks and Rec Department. I have started in 1990 working for the Parks and Rec. Chad and I worked together for many years there. I've been fortunate that I got to basically grow up from 18-year-old kid to now a 50-year-old kid. So basically my job is I get to play every day. And I get to oversee kids playing. I get to oversee people using our fields, using our courts, having fun. And it's the best thing in the world. City of Dunedin, we offer a lot for kids in a small town. People don't realize everything that we do and we have for them. Just Dunedin Little League, we have 4 baseball fields, 3 softball fields. Sterling Soccer has 4 full-size soccer fields. We have 11 tennis courts in Dunedin. We have, now we have what? 6 pickleball courts on the tennis courts now. And that's not including inside that we also have the pickleball inside also at 2 of the rec centers. So just to go out and play, we have numerous things for a town like Dunedin. For our Sterling Soccer, they serve over 715 kids a year, from competitive to recreational, from ages 3 years old up to 18 years old. You know, to have that on those fields every day, you go by there you're not finding a parking spot. It's when you go by on a Saturday. You go by there on a practice night, you're not finding parking. There, it is overflowed with kids running, playing soccer. There's no better thing than a homegrown community like that. Then we have Junior Falcons, Dunedin Junior Falcons. That's our youth football. And it's a little bit different because we don't have a stadium in the city of Dunedin. So we partner with Dunedin High School. So Dunedin Junior Falcons, they use the practice field at Dunedin High. They use their games at Dunedin High School. I can say I ref high school football, coach high school football, ref high school football. I coach youth football, ref youth football. There's not many youth organizations that can say, hey, I play at a high school stadium, you know? So they have a huge benefit of a pristine field compared to some of these other youth groups. For Junior Falcons right now, they took 2 years off because of COVID. They came back this year with over 180 kids between cheerleading and football. And that's amazing just because football's not what it used to be. It's not the quote main sport anymore. People heard that word concussion. They saw video games. They saw laziness in children. So to get 180 children out there to participate in cheerleading and football is awesome. Those kids have a blast, they compete, and there's nothing better than go out there. I mean, as a ref, I go and watch the Dunedin, I have to officiate them, and watching those kids compete every day, it's a blast. Then we get into, as I would say, our premier sport in Dunedin is, and I'm not a baseball guy by any stretch, but Dunedin Little League. For Dunedin Little League, we serve over, just boys and girls, over 310 kids per season. You go out there, I mean, they have everything from 4-year-olds at T-ball all the way up to about a 16-year-old playing juniors. You have ex-players being the umpires now. And there's nothing greater than if you go to Dunedin Little League, I guarantee you walk into a dugout and ask the managers where they played. They're going to say Dunedin Little League. That was their home base. And they'll get into the American or the National, the two different teams. But how many actually come back and give back to the kids is remarkable because of the experiences that they had back in the day. Those three youth groups, I'm the liaison between all three with the city of Dunedin. They are run by volunteers. Every group is run by a person that doesn't get a dime. And it's remarkable to see the effort that these people put in. I mean, they're putting in 40, 50, 60 hours, some of them, in their organization, in their groups. You know, and they're always looking for volunteers. They're always looking for help. You know, I mean, it's a great thing for Dunedin because the city, we don't have the manpower to run the stuff, run the programs. I can run, and I'll go over my programs that I run, but I need those youth groups. We need them in Dunedin to run these youth sports, and that's what these kids need. So what they do is a tremendous asset to everybody here. Just the programs that I oversee and my staff oversee. I run a youth flag football program. It runs from January to March. It has about 65 to 70 kids a year. You know, it's from ages of 10 to 14. This year we brought in Largo, and we actually played games against the city of Largo Recreation. So it was pretty cool. Kids got to compete against other kids around the area. I'll say, and I'll deny it even though it's being filmed today, my favorite program that I got is youth track. I run a youth track program. We get about 60 to 70 kids a year. And this track program got started, I'd say about 22 years ago, between 19 to 22 years ago. And right now we have the city of Safety Harbor, city of Largo, city of Clearwater, Pinellas Park, Seminole, all come and compete. And so what it is we run Wednesday nights. They have track practice once a month, the first Wednesday of every month from February when it starts, the meets, through May. The kids come and run in track meets, and they compete in a 50-yard dash, 100, a 200. And just seeing the kids go, watch them compete against somebody else in the sport is awesome. But then watch them not even care. They just want to get out there and run, have fun. It's even better, you know. So much emphasis is on you got to win something. No, you got to go compete. You got to have fun. That's my emphasis with the city sports that I put on. You know, when we do the track meets at Dunedin High School, we run 3 of the 4 track meets at Dunedin High. We just had our last one last Wednesday. We have over 200 to 225 kids that participate. And it's about an hour and 45 minutes that we have it all knocked out in. You know, it's pretty efficient. You better be after 19 to 20 years of doing it. But the next thing we do is starting off in this August is a youth cross-country program. We do a quarter mile, a half mile, or a mile. And these kids, you know, my goal is that they all run the mile by the end of it. Well, that's my goal. Their goal is that they're all running all three events. And it's pretty remarkable watching the kid who could barely run the first lap, first day of practice. By the end of it, they're running a mile and a half, you know, and it's the same thing. And that event is with Safety Harbor and Pinellas Park. Just the 3 cities do that, but, you know, just watching these kids get out, compete, and have fun. We have 2 other programs. We have a tennis lessons for kids, and it's run by USTA tennis pro, Greg Hoban, and he does adults and children. And he probably does in a year, probably about 300 to 400 kids from a September to May. You know, and then since DCO meeting, I have actually taken over the Sterling Park driving range on the corner of 19. So, and to be honest, I'm not a golfer. So, but the biggest thing about that is we have a PGA pro there, Paul Selvester, been there for 30 plus years. Paul teaches classes for kids to adults. And watching him interact with the kids, you know, as I say, I'm a coach. I go watch anybody coach. And I don't know, you know, just I pick up one little thing, I've done good that day. But watching Paul interact with those kids and teach with the kids and, you know, correct them, it's remarkable. You know, we are blessed in Dunedin to have what we have. We have a huge, strong base in the recreation department to be able to do these programs. We have a staff that's like no other. I'll put our Parks and Rec up against anybody in the country. You know, these people care about it, love it. They do it for a long time, and they do it for the right reasons for the kids. That's pretty much what I have. I'll take if anybody got any questions, anything, we can. Yes, sir.
You still have seasons of youth baseball?
Huh?
You still have 2 seasons for baseball?
Yes, so baseball runs fall and a spring season. So the fall is kind of more instructional, and the spring is more, you know, we're going to Williamsport. We're going, if you make the majors, they got the All-Stars hooked up into that. You know, Dunedin over the years has been blessed with some talented teams. We've had a team, as everybody knows, our mayor. Our governor, he was on the Williamsport team. You know, we've have many other people have gone on, and we've been lucky to have those teams and have that kind of strength in Dunedin baseball. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to give a word of praise to Paul Selvester. He gave my son golf lessons. He plays golf today, he loves the game, but I think Paul made him love the game.
Yeah, Paul's remarkable. It is remarkable watching him with kids and adults. I mean, like I said, I'm not a golfer. Have never been. I've played sports all my life, and golf was definitely never one of them. And here, do this. Here, hold on, the ball can go in the air. Yeah, I mean, if he can get me to hit it in the air, he can help anybody.
First of all, one of the reasons I moved to this community happens to be because of the Parks and Recreation. When I looked at this community, you just Google everything, noticed what the tennis court, everything else was. Kudos for making this a desirable community. Secondly, I'd like to talk to you about the pickleball players. I'm a tennis player.
Oh, my. Here we go. Here we go.
When are you gonna build those pickleball courts so they can go have their own happy day?
I know it's happening. October 1 starts our new fiscal year. And so I think our overall goal, we have been meeting with engineers, we've been meeting with certain contractors of 2 locations. So if they can finalize the locations, I can't be 100%, but I'll say next year that I would think they would be broke ground and done after October 1. Yep. Yes, sir.
You want to talk about the skate park and how innovative that was in the beginning compared to what other cities have?
Compared to you having the building?
Well, I built it.
So as Chad is talking about, we have a skate park at the MLK Recreation Center. And it was pretty remarkable because Chad and another gentleman, Mark Watson, both were young, 20, 24-year-old, people, and they helped pretty much build. The company came down here with 2 guys from California to build our skate park. And they didn't have the manpower. So Chad and Mark, all right, we'll do it. Yeah, sure, fun. But it is remarkable what we've done, the innovative, because prior to that, there was nobody that you saw skate parks. That wasn't a big thing. I mean, it's been, 25 years probably that we first started it. And now what they do there, I mean, they do a Friday night lights. The kids still come out in droves. It is still a destination for skaters and everything to come to Sterling Park. I was in the building a couple weeks ago and the guy drove over from, it was St. Cloud. I was like, to come just skate here? He's like, yeah. Like, okay, we're open. Yes, sir.
What are the plans for Gladys Douglas property, the park there?
That's a great question. Right now, last I heard is it's going to be a walking park, kind of like similar to Hammock, and just opened up to the public to do walking. I know longer down the road they have some ideas to use the pond and do some of the things like that, but I think right now it's going to open up as a walking park for just like a hammock park.
Anything else?
I want to give you kudos, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Appreciate it very much.
Research City, we always donate this to one of our local schools. Thank you very much, sir. I say my hat's off. Like I said, I did a lot of work with youth sports between football, soccer, and baseball. And I can tell you, when it comes, I've been from this county from one end to the other. And if you saw the fields our kids play on compared to fields in other places, no one comes close. Well, Largo may hold a distant second maybe, but no one comes close to what the city offers. The city takes care of those fields for all those kids. Other organizations, the Dunedin Little League, the Falcons, soccer, they're using a city park. It's how it's defined, except for the high school, of course. And the condition they keep them in is just absolutely amazing. And just the support the city puts behind their youth is just, it just blows me away when you see it. I swear I've been to fields where I swear they had to chase the cows off 5 minutes earlier just to play football. But thank you again for coming out. Now, at this point, I've asked DRC Sports to join us today to talk for a little bit about the triathlon, where we are, what we're doing, where we're going. So, Stephanie, I'm going to turn the floor over to you, and we'll see how this works out.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Wow. Get the microphone here.
All right. Well, with our team, thank you for having us today and letting us join your meeting. Chris Moling is here, the race director. Can y'all hear me?
Now we can, here.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we have Chris Moling is here. There he is. And Courtney from our office is also here. She was newest member of our team. She's been with us over a year. She was not at your event last year because she had a pre-scheduled vacation, but anyway. So that's our team, and we're excited for this year's event. So basically, it's the same race, same necessity for the whole event. You guys, just making sure you all know that it's coming up, that you're participating. We want to make sure everything's in place for this to be a successful event. Most importantly is volunteers. So first thing I'd like to maybe chat with Terry. Are you there, Terry?
Let me jump in and then let's come back to volunteers kind of at the end.
Okay.
To give everybody, most of you guys are maybe familiar with the event, know what's happening. If you're kind of new to Rotary and new to this event, I'm sure Larry can do a good job of explaining it, but we've been working with Larry for months now, doing our checklist meetings and everything that comes up and our list of items to make sure your event's successful. Again, it's not the first time we've done this event, first time you guys have done this event. So a lot of the things are already set in stone. We know how they're going to happen, where it's going to be. All we really do is try to make sure that everything's checked off, number one, and number two, make sure that we make any changes based on what we experienced the previous year. Now, last year was a unique event because it was a COVID kind of reschedule. So it ended up being in the fall rather than in the spring. But this year we return to the spring, which should put us kind of back on that same tempo that you guys have had for years. The only real modification we're looking at doing, the beach is always a big consideration because we never know what the sand is going to be, the condition of the sand and whatnot for that particular area, stretch of the beach, but we're going to work on that. But Larry, if you remember last year, we talked about moving the transition area to the south, one parking lot. And doing so because the one that it's in, excuse me, is pretty rough. It's chewed up pretty good. And the one to the south of that is pretty much better condition and for their feet coming out of the water and whatnot. So we're looking to move that as far as the small changes that we're doing. The event will happen exactly the same. It won't really affect anything other than instead of being in this parking area, we're going to move it, to the south, one parking area. The one where transition used to be will be empty now, and we'll still keep the finish line over in the same one where it was before. So the only change will be transition to that one side. We're also looking at rerouting the run course a bit, coming through there. Chet and I will be coming down on Thursday of this week in the afternoon to drive and go out there and measure the course and make sure we have the best. We had some people getting lost last time. We're not sure if that's signage or whatnot, but we've always had other issues, and we had them going on the beach, running in the sand on the beach and stuff. And I think the biggest thing, and what Stephanie will allude to, is we were shy on volunteers. That was one of the biggest challenges we met last year. We didn't have enough people. We had signage, but as you guys well know, if you've been involved in triathlon, triathletes, they get oxygen deprived and they get stupid and they don't listen. They don't look. You have to have as much fortification as you can out there to make sure they stay on course and to make sure that they're safe and do it correctly. So we're going to try to make sure we fill those positions, get those things knocked out. We're going to increase some of the signage, but again, signage is only so good. We really need people in positions to help direct them. But outside of that, they talked about the causeway being repaved. Then I got an email saying that it might not be repaved. Larry, is there any update on the repaving?
I have not heard anything because I was told it was going to be repaved 2 months ago.
Heard nothing yet.
Okay, that's what, and they kind of told us that it would be repaved in time and that was it. But then I got an email saying, nope, it's not going to be. So we quit advertising that fact because we thought, man, it'd be a great way to advertise, hey, new asphalt, nice and smooth and blah, blah, blah. But if it's not there, it's not there. But other than that, you guys do have a closed course, which is nice for athletes. And it's still not in bad shape compared to some other courses. So it would just be nice if they do pave that causeway. Outside of that, I mean, my area is logistics, making sure that everything runs smooth and everything's, put in place and the race is set up correctly. I'll leave it now over to Stephanie, and she can kind of elaborate more on the volunteer situation and where we're at with that and, the support we can get from you guys. So thank you very much.
Anything to report?
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So for the most part, we're just looking to make sure that we have all the volunteers in place. And knowing that what the schedule is going to be. So the schedule will be the Friday packet pickup, in the afternoon at Chainwheel Drive. Saturday afternoon packet pickup. Is Lucky Lobster in again for sure, Larry?
Yep. Yes, we are.
Okay, fantastic. They were great last year. So looking forward to that. And then obviously Sunday morning packet pickup, race day, all that, fun stuff. So if we can just, one of the things we talked about was moving the timetable. So we didn't have all the volunteers there at 5 a.m. that weren't going to go out on the course. So via email with Terry, confirmed that anybody that's going to be out on the course doesn't need to be there till 6:30 a.m.
Oh, they're closing the causeway, right?
Right.
They'll have a pack.
Okay, we got it.
They are going to close the causeway. However, they will allow athletes, if they have a bike on the back, they'll allow them to come through. Volunteers, as long as they have that orange piece of paper, or we could create a volunteer pass ahead of time. Terry, whatever you want to do. If they show that piece of paper, it will allow them onto the causeway.
Could you add registration? Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Terry?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay, go ahead. She can hear
Could
you.
you add for Sunday registration? I noticed that it's not on. I went to go register someone on the site. I couldn't find registration.
For the athletes or for volunteers?
Volunteers.
The volunteers.
For the volunteers, there is no Sunday registration job.
To the best of my limited ability.
Can you check?
Okay, yeah, I'll double check, and if not, most certainly, I will make sure that it's there. Thank you.
It's one of those volunteers that do.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you. She can hear. I can't believe it. Okay.
No, I'm good. I can hear it just fine.
Good, thank you.
So do you want to use the orange pieces of paper, or do you want me to send or create?
Orange. Let's make it.
Can't we just have something? Can't we just text them something and say to the volunteer? I mean, how many people are really gonna come on that aren't volunteers?
Does there?
My whole thing.
No, they're worried. The police department's worried about fishing.
Yeah, that's the sheriff's department and stuff they want.
Right, it's for the law enforcement that's gonna be controlling that causeway.
Okay, so.
Orange.
Orange, you got it.
Just do it. I have orange paper at home. I'll bring it in. Okay.
Yep, just bring it. Just bring it. Give some to Larry to bring me to packet pickup.
Oh, how Stephanie? How about just having an orange something on your phone that says you can get in instead of having a paper?
Yep,
They stop you anyway.
absolutely. Yep,
Yes, you can do that.
that works.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
It's easier.
Simple enough.
Forget it.
Okay, so then the other thing is going to be, I already see that we're ahead of the game. We have more people registered to volunteer, so that's super exciting. I see names in there. So the next piece is gonna be, is everybody signed up that should be from the Rotary? Have you asked your friends, your neighbors? Do we have school groups or church groups or organizations that are going to fill in those positions? Because even though we're a little bit better than last year, we're nowhere near where we need to be.
I've sent emails out to all the high schools in the area and asked for boosters and so forth. If anyone knows any churches, I'm going to be meeting with Joe Mack with Dunedin Cares right after this. See if Dunedin Cares wants to put a team together, 10 or 15 people.
If you have any nonprofits that might be interested in looking for something to do, just get out there. We definitely would recognize them.
They're gonna reach out.
The cash dollars.
Oh, yeah, for cash. There you go.
We will donate to them.
That's
The
incentive.
biggest issues we have, we always had the girls softball team and ROTC. The problem is end of school, they're in finals. And that's one of the biggest things they're not pushing, because they want the kids at home studying Sunday night, coming up early, or regular sleeping for seniors. I don't see for high school it matter. It's got to be at school at 7:15 anyway. But the biggest kickback I've gotten back from school is they're in the middle of finals that point, because I believe Monday's the last day of school for the students.
Wow.
And that's exam final day. So I understand the school's kickback.
Oh, because we're doing it later this month too. Yeah, okay.
Anything else? What I'd like to say is to explain the roadway, Dunedin Causeway, the sheriff's department is doing this.
Put that right in my mouth. Hang on.
The sheriff's department is doing a soft close at 6 o'clock, not 6:30. They had issues with fishermen last year. They were already out there all night. They want to get up and leave in the middle of the race. Actually, the course has been closed. They did not have enough time to run everybody off last year. They use the term running off because they tell them you need to leave, but you're not going to leave until 10 o'clock. So what they're doing this time is they backed it up another half an hour to 6 o'clock, so they can start doing their job of getting everyone off the causeway, unless they say they're going to stay till 6. I mean, just study for the race starts. The problem is they're going to be doing a hard close at 7 a.m. Nobody gets through except EMS at that point. That's it. Only first responders or anyone's allowed to after 7. The course will be officially closed. They don't care what your excuse is at that point. So the issue is, even though there might not be blocks in the course yet, if we have the elite starting off first and they take off, these guys, these men and women are so fast that by the time they got swim course is so short, they could be out of the water, they barely get wet because they swim so quickly and they hit the bikes. So that's one of the reasons why it's backed up a little bit more. Stephanie's also trying to go out there on the volunteer chart and put down the time frames that you're needing. So that way, only a few of us have to be out there at 4 o'clock or 4:30, just getting the lights turned on and getting some of the pieces in place and getting that process started. So pretty much is what we're looking for. If you're going to volunteer, you got to be there between 6 and 7. After 7, there's no need bothering because the police will not let you through. But please work with other people who volunteers. Boy Scouts, anyone's going to hurt. I don't expect churches to step up. It's a Sunday morning. So by the time we get done, it's around 10 o'clock, when roads open up again, I can see where they kick back. I have the same 2 ladies call me every single week before the race to tell me about how upset they're with me. They live in a condominium association, they can't go to church that morning. And I'm telling them, well, ladies, the roads are going to be open by 10, so you should be able to make the late service. Hopefully, God will not strike you with lightning. But we'll see where that shakes out. It's been after me for a long time, but lightning had got me edged. But do you have any other questions about the race? If not, if you have not signed up, please sign up as soon as you can so we start getting ID accounts, so how hard to push this, work with other areas.
Awesome. And you guys will be having the beer, you'll be doing the beer tent again, Larry, correct?
Yes, we got it. All that's been done.
Okay. And
That's
all
in place.
Excellent food and that.
They're blessing yesterday. Pardon me?
Okay. All the logistics, all the permitting, everything has been done. So bridges have been closed, Coast Guard's coming in. So, I mean, everything else is ready to rock and roll. I don't see any open item that I have on my side unless you guys have it on yours.
I think we're okay on this side too.
Excellent. All right. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. And if anybody needs anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right, do announcements quickly. David, how you looking on the invocation? Still okay?
We're all close.
Fantastic. Nomination committee, the treasurer situation has been recently resolved. Thank goodness. Also, May 22nd, what I put on here, we're 12 days out. And as we mentioned, as of Saturday afternoon, when I did the agenda, only 7 people have registered. And since then, we checked it, there's only 1 more person who's registered since. So please, know people that are registered, or if you're going to register yourself, please go out there and sign up. And if you decide to do something early in the morning, you want to stay longer that day or stay till the event is over, because pretty much you can't leave 10 o'clock anyway, because we're going to have to hold you hostage. See if there's another opportunity that you want to volunteer. Just drop down the boxes more and see if there's another area you'd like to help assist in. You can do more than just one thing if you're up to it. I know some who have out there with us have an early start, but overall, if you want to do more than one thing, we'll be more than happy to welcome you.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, Larry, the people that have told me that they're going to volunteer, I'm putting them in manually. So we have more than that, and I'm sure Chad is going to be volunteering. So with the whole deal, you're out. Football. We cancel.
That's not going to work.
I'm kidding.
You're not playing
I know,
football.
but I put it out to the high schools. I mean, we'll do the best that we can.
We don't accept that, because this is Sunday morning, there's no football Sunday morning.
Sunday morning football.
It's not gonna work, no, we can't use that one. Nice try, though.
Sunday morning.
All right, at this point, I'd like to also make sure we have, one blood will be here that following Tuesday, 24th, for blood drive. So if those of you who are interested, please reach out and sign up. We are doing that in conjunction with the church here. So please, this is our first time we did this as the pandemic's got back, it's kind of got behind us. So if you donate blood, please consider giving that day on the 24th. Well, like I said, we got the big district by family bike ride coming up in October, but we'll talk about that more as time gets closer. At that point, does anyone else have any other questions? Any announcements? If not, we'll go to the 4-way, would you want me to 4-way test? Please stand. The 4-way test, the thing you say you do. First, is it true? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will the goodwill. Fourth, will be beneficial to all concerned. I'd like to thank everyone coming out today. Our guests, thank you for coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.